up, got out of bed, straight to work. Be honest, the worst night's sleep I've had in so long, like so long. I kept waking up in the middle of the night, needing the bathroom, couldn't sleep, agitated. Unfortunately, it's just part of prep. It is what it is. I've got back and hamstrings today, but obviously when it comes to doing legs, you want to have the best night's sleep you possibly can. And I'll be honest, it was dreadful. Just couldn't have a deep quality sleep. It's one of them, as I say, it's just part of prep. You just got to get on with it. Try and in the future have like chamomile tea again. That usually helps me when I struggle to sleep, but I just didn't end up having any. I should have, but I didn't. You make them mistakes. But yeah, we'll get cracking today. As I say, I promise to do as many uploads as possible, as frequently as possible, just to keep you guys like in the loop of everything going on. It's nice to have people watch and follow and subscribe, comment, like. It's nice to have you here. So yeah, keep watching. We have more stuff on for today. So thought I'd get on, do some cardio, and probably have a little bit of a deep talk or something like that. See what I'm doing. So I thought about it. I thought, many of you don't know, watch me videos. I actually have Tourettes syndrome. When you watch them, you see me make little noises, little ticks here and there, and it's, you might be thinking, what's he doing? What's he taking? No, that's just me. So yeah, I was 18 years old when I got diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome. I knew before what it was, and the doctors for many years misdiagnosed me. I was getting anxious tics, they were saying. Another one was stress-related tics. Oh, it's just a habit, it'll go. But I knew deep down I couldn't stop making these noises. I knew I couldn't. I was like, it was really embarrassing because it'd get worse when people noticed it in school. The teachers had no idea. They were like, oh, he's disrupting the classroom. I got put in different classes to do my tests. And it was really hard sitting in a room that was silent, and the teachers at the time were always like, be quiet, and I physically couldn't. Like, I absolutely tried my hardest to be quiet, and the harder I tried to be quiet, the worse the tics got. So I had a bit of a struggle growing up a little bit when it comes to having Tourette's syndrome. I get pain on a daily basis. It is what it is. I live with consistent spasms in muscles, and if any of you have ever had cramp in your feet, well, that same pain I get anywhere in my body at any given time. I get on with it because the way I see it is life could always be worse. I try to see it as more of a gift than a blessing. Not a gift, no blessing. I see it more as a blessing than a curse, should I say. Because even though it's not a nice disorder to live with, I'm quite introverted as a person, and that makes very extroverted attention. At the same time, it allows me to have deeper conversations with people because I'm allowed to express who I am. And when I can be in a conversation with someone and I'm making noise, I can start a conversation like, oh yeah, it's because I've got Tourette's syndrome. And they're like, wow, people are very fascinated by it. For me, as I say, I'm not fascinated by it because I grew up with it. It is what it is. But for most people, their perception of it is entirely different because of TV. And TV makes out like it's a swearing disorder, it's this, it's that. Which can be frustrating that most people think that. It's unfortunately not the case. That's something else called corporelia, which a very, very minute amount of people with Tourette's syndrome have. I have something called echololia, or I'd love to be able to pronounce it, but basically I repeat noises or sounds that I hear. But yeah, And as far as bodybuilding, that was my sort of outlet, my distraction from that disorder. I've always wanted to be in shape. I've always wanted to be big, muscular, ripped, huge, because I grew up watching things like Arnold Schwarzenegger on telly, fucking Tango and Cash, Rocky, Rambo, all them. So that was my childhood. So I always wanted to be like that, and realising that the training involved to get like that kind of distracted me from the issues I had in life when it come to obviously dealing with Tourettes syndrome and other things like that. It was my escapism, and I feel very blessed that I've managed to find that, because I feel like a lot of people who don't even have disorders struggle to find some escapism in today's culture, because even though we've got all the phones, social media, we're quite an antisocial sort of reality we live in, really. It's not like back in the day when everyone would start conversations just with anyone in public, or just like be able to talk on nights out. It's not like that now, and it's quite sad, because as humans we want to be social, do you know what I mean? And the more we've tried to make it social by using the internet to help us, we've kind of drifted away from that. So I think that's why we sit here and we watch YouTube, we sit here and we sort of watch all these things that we kind of want to relate to. Let's move this camera angle over here somewhere. There we go. So yeah, that's why it's nice to have people watch and like people comment underneath. They learn from me, I learn from them. I want to see what they're interested in watching. I also want to display my channel to help out the audience and give people more entertainment watching me things, because for me it's just talking to the camera and getting stuff done, do you know what I mean, and want to go through on a daily basis, because I live such a different lifestyle to most people, do you know what I mean? Most people have a massive social life and loads of friends and sort of like get out and do more adventurous things, holidays, this and that. I'm very confined to my space. I'm very much soul focused on my bodybuilding. I'm soul focused on trying to improve as a person, whether it be business, whether it be career, whether it be education. I'm very self-sufficient in that sense. But yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? But yeah, bodybuilding was definitely my outlet. It allowed me to get more in touch with the body I live in, do you know what I mean? Because when you've got disorders that affect mobility, affect sort of your day-to-day life, you find it quite hard to be able to, because what I've got is very uncontrollable. I have voluntary outbursts, so it's nice to be quite voluntary in the fact that I can control how I can look. That gives me some self-satisfaction, which I absolutely love, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like cardio time stories could be a thing. But yeah, I got started in bodybuilding because my dad was into the weights. He loved weight training. He was never a bodybuilder like myself, but he was huge into the weights. He loved it, and that was his escapism. When I was young, everyone used to say how big my dad was, and it made me feel good being like, ooh. But then it got to the point, because I was still a kid, all the kids would be like, oh, you don't look, is he your dad? Why are you skinny and he's big? He's definitely not your dad, and all stuff like that. And I kind of brought that fuck you motivation, should I say. Do you know what I mean? And I felt like I had to prove a point. And I didn't just, obviously, get into the weights. I took it one step further. Do you know what I mean? Because I wanted to prove to them at the time that I was good enough, and I wanted to prove to him that I was his son. He knows that I know, like, do you know what I mean, that we are. I obviously am his son, but I felt like I needed to prove that, even though I didn't. So when I started competing, when I started training, I wanted to compete, because that would be something you'd never done before. It was something Arnold Schwarzenegger had done, and I obviously looked up to Arnie. And it took a while, but when I started winning shows, it was that like moment of like, yes, do you know what I mean, satisfaction in myself that I could do things, which was nice. And now I'm obviously not just, I've won multiple feds, but now I'm on my way to try and win a pro card one day, and everyone's like, oh, pro card, and this and that. They don't realise how fucking hard it is to get a pro card. People say, oh yeah, it's easy to get a pro card today. Fucking do it then, do it. Do you know what I mean? Everyone who says that hasn't got one, and the ones who do say that, I don't know why you're complaining, because it means more competitions are available. It means more people are drawn to the sport. Isn't that what you want as far as business goes, for the business to grow? Do you know what I mean? You want to get on stage and have a lineup of people. You don't want to get on stage with 1 or 2 people. It's not a good feeling, do you know what I mean? And especially as far as business goes, when it comes to sponsorships and so forth, you don't want to, like, what sort of business wants to sponsor a show with like 2 bodybuilders in it? Do you know what I mean? You want to see a lineup of people and be like, yeah, we sponsor these shows, look at all these great physiques, not look at these 2 fellas or 1 fella. So yeah, it's daft that people like to be like, oh, it's easy to get a pro card today, it's easy to get a pro card today. It's really, really not. Do you know what I mean? When you think of sports in general, right, football, or soccer as the Americans call it, these 11 players per side who are professional, paid millions. 11 players per side. That's 22 players on the pitch at one time. Now, there's also substitutes too, who are also being paid millions. There's probably, for every single city in the world, a football team, if not 2. There is so many professional footballers out there. Guess who earns all the big bucks? The professional footballers. Same with things like NFL. There's so many teams, there's so many players per side. That's what you want bodybuilding to be like. You want more people in it, because it means more money for the sport. More money for the sport means the athletes are paid better. It means we can do this for a living. And that's why I need more subs. Because it means I can start making some money from it and doing it as a career, because this is what I'm passionate about. So yeah, help me out and subscribe, you know what I mean? God damn it. But yeah, these cardio story times are definitely going to be implemented now on a couple of videos, so I'd like you to have some suggestions. Drop it down below and let me know what you think. Obviously I'm rocking the Eric Cartman shirt as per usual. I've got a couple of them. I love Eric Cartman, and sometimes when I'm watching, like doing my cardio, I put my TV on and I'll watch something like an episode of South Park, Generation Iron, any other podcasts. I'll watch like Fuad's podcast, maybe Sam Sulek now and then. I'm new to that sort of scene with Sam Sulek. I'm not really up to date with him. I've only just started watching some of the things, to be honest. But yeah, moral of the story is, if you want to do cardio and you want time to pass, watch something you enjoy, because it absolutely does wonders. I've been talking to you here for like a good 12 minutes already. Time's passed, and I haven't even turned on my telly yet to watch a series or something which is going to help me pass more time. So there you go, there's your tips for doing cardio. Get out the way for steady state. Doesn't have to be walking on a stepper, it doesn't have to be this. I literally bought an indoor bike and I just sit on it and pedal away at my own pace while watching telly, and I burn loads of fat. That's the trick. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Be amazing if you can subscribe and comment and like, and I'll just keep pumping out more videos and try and keep you entertained. Obviously today's one was mostly about just cardio time and story time, but yeah, about me disorder. But yeah, I'm gonna do more videos, so give me some suggestions, please help me out, because I need this to grow. Me subscribers ain't looking the best, but it's growing. My goal right now is to try and get that 100 subscribers. That's my goal, you know what I mean? So help me out and do it. Share the videos, share the page. Let's get there.